I just want to remind you that you are the stories that you tell yourself. We all are the stories that we tell ourselves. If I tell myself that I'm a strong, courageous person, then I am. And if I tell myself a story that I'm weak and lazy and that I give up and that everything's too hard and it defeats me, then I am. Whatever story we tell ourselves about who we are, we're right. And here's the thing. All the best stories aren't necessarily the true stories. It's very easy to find a lot of evidence for why you might be a particular version of you. And if you want to find a lot of evidence to prove that you are weak or uni is too hard for you or you'll never find love or whatever, you can definitely scroll back through your life and go back through the memory banks and flick and find all these bits of evidence to support that story. And congratulations, you'll really lock it in and it'll be really true for you. So that'll be really definitely who you become. Well done. Or you can tell yourself a different story. You can tell yourself the story of who you want to be and tell yourself the story that that's who you are. You can go back through some of the memories and back through the memory banks and pick out some evidence that supports that new version. All the times that you just smashed it, you did such a great job and you worked extra hard, or that everyone loved you and, you told that joke and everyone laughed. And here's the other really fun thing about that. Well, first of all, you get enough of that evidence together because it is in there and you can find it or you can create it. Get enough of that evidence together and you can start telling yourself a story about who you really want to be. That story will become true for you. It will become who you are. And have you ever had the experience where you've had a memory of something and you were so sure you were right? Like, oh, I know for 100% for a fact that I put my keys there on the table before I left the house or whatever. And now I can't find them. Oh, but I know that they're there. I distinctly remember putting them there. And then later, you can't find the keys, whatever, and you don't know why. And then later, someone says, hey, actually, you seem to have forgotten. Actually, it went like this. You actually put them in the drawer over there. Don't you remember that? What's my point? My point is, the evidence that you may have accumulated is based on memories of yourself, of the things that have happened to you. Who's to say those memories are correct? If I misremember things all the time, and if there's a particular memory that you have that doesn't serve you, well then let's decide right here, right now, that actually that's not how it went. Actually, it was very different. Actually, you didn't get up in front of the class to do the presentation when you were 7 years old and peed your pants. No, that actually didn't happen to you. Oh, silly. Oh, don't you remember? You were actually sitting at the back of the class with all your friends watching that other person that wasn't you. And that happened to someone else, not you. I can't believe you remembered it wrong. You're so silly. You're up the back with all your friends, being secure and supported in a social environment and feeling validated and loved. Silly goose. That's what really happened. Don't you remember? I'm serious. You can do this. You can do this with every single memory that you have that doesn't serve you. And guess what? Because of course you might even be wrong about that. You can then go back in 6 months' time and then change it again. Say, oh yeah, actually, it was me that peed. Oh, yeah, that's right, I did pee my own pants, yeah. And that's where I learned to not care what other people think of me. Oh, that's a great memory, that serves me now. Yeah, that's totally what occurred. Who's to say which of your memories are right or wrong? And why do we care about being accurate historians? And what, someone's going to call you out and say, no, that's not what happened. Cool, good for you. You believe that. I'm believing it my way. Serves me. Get out of here. Don't care what you think. See you later. This works for me. This helps me tell the story to myself of who I want to be and who I will then become. This is a very straightforward concept. People overcomplicate it very easily. Don't do that. Don't overcomplicate this. Rewrite your own story. It's really easy. Make that your new story. You have nothing to lose. And quite literally, everything to gain. Give it a shot. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for making it this far into the video. This is the part where I would be remiss if I didn't mention that I make a new video every single day. So if you like this, if you'd like to see what I talk about tomorrow and how I talk about it, hit subscribe. And if some part of this in particular resonated, if there's a part of your story that you're going to now rewrite for you, rewrite that in the comments now. Only the new story, not the old. Because what do you mean the old? That was never the story. That was never correct. Write things now how you want them to have always been. Can't wait to hear your stories. I'll see you in the next video.